Welcome to the
Debbie and
Kim
Kim
Show.
Real people, real talk. From challenges to wisdom, conversations that heal, inspire, and empower. How does it feel, Mrs. Bliss? Mrs. McClard, yes.
Yes.
Thank you.
Oh, I'm still winding down from all the excitement. Just got back last Wednesday.
It hasn't been a month.
No, last Wednesday got back from Pittsburgh and spent time with my family. Got to introduce them to everybody. It was so wonderful. It was great seeing everybody, but it was so nice to get home.
Yeah. You know, that is a lot of stimulation.
Oh, yes.
Not only do you have the reception for your wedding and with all the bigger family, but you had a bigger family reunion.
Yes,
that's a lot.
On top of it,
that's
is a lot. It is a lot.
But Will got a real initiation.
Yes, he did.
Into the family.
Because he's from a very small family, and I am from a very large and charged family. There are people there from everywhere.
That's awesome.
Yes, Virginia, Maryland, South Carolina, New York, Arizona, Atlanta,
Boston or Baltimore?
Boston and Baltimore. So yeah, all up and down the East Coast. We were the only ones from out west. that I can remember.
And that's just because you traversed out there.
Yeah. But we had an awesome time.
That's beautiful,
awesome. And how was your week? What all was happening on this in Arizona besides all the rain that we've been getting?
Yeah. Well, that rain just came like one day, really.
Oh.
I mean, it might have been scattered around the valley, but here we only had it torrential rain like for one day, maybe a day and then a night.
Yeah.
It wasn't as much as we thought.
But it's needed.
Oh yeah, definitely needed.
That's the one thing that Will was so surprised about it, that it's so green. He's like, it's so green. He said,
in Philadelphia.
Yeah, your weeds are taller than our trees.
That's what rain does.
That's what rain does. Rain
and humidity.
Yes.
Everything needs water to live.
Oh, but I'm so glad to be back home, and I think I'm finally catching up on the rest, because it's also the time difference.
Yes.
So you don't realize, you get used to that 3-hour difference, and you come back here and you gotta adjust. So. Yeah, so it's great. It's good to be back. It's good to be next to my podcast buddy.
Good to have you back.
I missed you.
Yeah. We didn't do a podcast. Yeah, I said you just enjoy your family.
Yes, and we didn't. But we're back.
Yes.
And we want to, again, work to, I won't say try, but work to provide valuable information to our listeners.
Always. And the topic that came up this week is mental health and the stigma that is still lingering, preventing people from getting the help that they need. There's a lot of stress. I think you won't argue with me when I say that stress is causing havoc in a lot of people's lives.
Oh, yes.
And that stress is an aspect of mental health.
And learning how to deal with that stress. A lot of times, that is really where the pressure comes, not knowing how to deal with it.
Yes, huge. I mean, I've said many times about breathing, but there's way more to it than that. That's the very cap of it's not the tip, it's just the cap of the tip of the iceberg. And so there's so much more to it. And this is why people pay thousands of dollars for coaching. And not that you have to pay thousands of dollars, but I'm just saying, once you get it, start getting the coaching, the more you get it, the more you appreciate it, the more you value it. And that doesn't, people spend hundreds of thousands of dollars on entertainment, and this is way more beneficial than entertainment even.
Yes. But then it if you need to learn how to deal with this, this is why you seek the experts.
Right.
And how to deal with your stress and how to make an adjustment to your everyday life.
Yes.
So that we can take care of it.
Stress is a natural part of life.
Yes.
Now, where it gets to where it becomes detrimental is when we don't mitigate it. We don't do anything with it. We let it compound, and we end up having chronic stress because we don't know how to deal with the stress that we get. There is a way that is healthy to not only receive this, encounter the stress, experience it, properly deal with it, and continue to have a healthy relationship with stress, with sadness, with grief, with all the emotions, anger, all the emotions that come with life.
And that's a part of life.
It is a part of life, and it is a valuable part of life. One of the things that I teach my clients is a context of life where everything makes sense, and where we actually can appreciate all of our experiences. All of our experiences, because they all have value in our life. And that's just one way, in my opinion, the best way, but it's just one way of managing stress. And like I said, for me, it's a way that actually gives it context and makes sense of it and brings value to it. So that the stress is no longer a stressor, but it's a gift.
Yes. And I don't know, I don't know whether this is a segue or a good way to put this in, is how mental illness, how stress leads to mental illness, but also it's another one of those silent, I don't know.
Like the elephant in the room. It's an unknown.
It's unknown. It's silent. Sometimes it's not visible. And sometimes you're not aware that you might even be depressed or stressed, or that someone in your family may be stressed out to the point where they may not be saying anything to you.
Yeah.
But
thank you for saying that. I want to bring up some reasons people don't say anything. Because you're right. Silence is a big factor in not taking care of yourself. Not in that silence is a lot of times driven by the stigma of even the word mental health. Mm-hmm. So we want to take some time to talk about the myths, why there's a stigma with mental health, and bust. Mm-hmm. Just bust those myths.
Mythbusters. Yeah.
Myth number one.
If I'm struggling emotionally, something is wrong with me.
Okay, truth is, emotional pain is a part of being human. We just talked about that. Mm-hmm. And anxiety, fear, grief, anger, and sadness are not evidence that you're broken. There's nothing wrong with you. You have an emotion that is there to give you some news or to teach you something, to grow you. So when we look at our anger, we sit in it, we feel it, we accept it, and then we curiously wonder, where is this coming from? Mm-hmm. What is this here to teach me? With compassion, with unconditional acceptance.
And I know there's probably a few of you who are saying, oh yeah, when I'm angry, and I'm not sitting in it, I'm not trying to figure it all out, I'm not doing this, but
yes,
and we all go through it. We all go through it. And when we're going through it, sometimes it is time to just sit with it and think about it. You know, why am I handling it this way?
Why do I feel this way?
Why do I feel this way?
Yeah.
Yes.
Why do I? And when you ask yourself, why do I feel this way? Probably the first reaction is going to be what somebody else did. Right? And then, or why did I do that? You know, I'm beating myself up because of something that I did that I wish I had not done. Well, the truth is, you did it. It happened for a reason, and the reason is holding a valuable lesson. So I ask you to let go of the judgment behind the anger and just really explore the true source of that anger, because you're going to find something that is an opportunity to have a valuable transformation in your life.
And sometimes you do need to seek
help. Yeah, if you can't do it by yourself, or if you're coming up and you're still frustrated and you just cannot shake that anger, and it's not so much shake it. I don't want you to shake it. I want you to understand it.
Understand it.
Make peace with it, reconcile with it, appreciate it. And if you need to let it go, there's a way to do that.
And it's not easy. Sometimes it's not easy.
Yeah.
And also we need to understand it's not something that happens overnight as well.
Right.
It's not a quick fix.
I would say working with a professional, you know, if you were going into, you had a problem with your gut, or with your eyes, or with your teeth, you're going to go to a specialist. Well, this is no different. This is an aspect of ourselves that deserves the attention of a professional. That's what they do. They help people with these challenges. Because here's what happened. If we don't deal with them, if we sweep them under the rug, if we tell ourselves that there's something wrong with me, or if I feel this, there's something wrong with me, or if I go to a professional, there's something wrong with me. If I struggle emotional, there's not. That's not true. You're going to the professional because there is a way to do this, and you need to learn how to do it. That's it.
Exactly.
You know, so. But there's nothing wrong with you. That's just a normal part of life. And it's just like, you know, when we get these wisdom teeth, we don't handle them ourselves. We go to the dentist. We want the dentist to deal with that, right? And so this is the same thing. I mean, except that you probably only get your wisdom teeth either once or twice in your life, whereas these challenges, you get them every day. Or, you know, often.
Yes.
And so the goal of the professional is to help you learn the skills to manage them. And actually, honestly, you may have to revisit this, or it may just be sitting in the back, and you may dismiss it initially. But it's a purpose. It's part of the purpose of our life. All of these challenges and struggles that we have, they are there to teach us something, and that something is a part of why we're on this earth. Born into this society at the time and place that we were, to be able to work through these challenges. That's what our life is really about. All the other stuff is wonderful, but this is the real root issue.
Yes.
So nothing's wrong with you. We want to bust that myth. There is nothing wrong with you. What if emotions are messengers instead of enemies? And who is it that taught us to judge our emotions? Would you say it was society? We could say our parents, but it was more than our parents. Our teachers, even some of the pastors, and just people in general. So we don't heal by fighting our emotions. We heal by learning what they're trying to teach us. Myth number 2.
Strong people don't need help.
So, do strong golfers get a golf coach? I think so. I think so. And so, actually, seeking help is one of the strongest things anyone can do.
I know we used to have an uncle, and we used to call him Strong Man because of his physique. And a lot of times, if there are those individuals that are big, healthy, and strong, they don't want to appear weak when they
I'll bet you they had a coach.
But
I'll bet you they had a training coach.
They had a training coach for them to get all them muscles. Exactly. So again, that's how you need to think about this.
Yes.
It's a coach that helps me through. I want to get more triceps or biceps or whatever you call them, or I want to get my chest muscles. You know how they get there in those pecs. Yeah, the pecs, and then they can make them jump like this.
Yeah.
Well, somebody had to teach them how to do that.
That's right. That's right. And,
so,
and which weights to lift, when, and how. And mental health deserves the same respect. So, why do we admire physical courage but sometimes shame emotional courage?
That's a good question. Well, I know.
That's a question that I think every individual needs to ask themselves.
Yes.
What prevented you from asking for help in the past? Just something to think about. It's nothing to judge yourself. This is not about beating yourself up. This is about awareness, a new awareness.
And put your comments
in our description.
In the comments. Give us some comments. Give us some feedback on this.
Yeah.
What do you think about this?
Yeah.
Have you thought about this?
Yeah.
About not asking for help in the past when you thought you should have.
You know, I talk a lot about self-love, and with the definition, the foundation of that being unconditional self-acceptance. And one of the ways that I talk about that is that what we see, what we respond to, what we react to in the world and other people and situations, circumstances, and conditions are actually responses to something in ourselves. That thing that we're seeing, we're actually projecting it onto whatever we're seeing it. And the reaction, sometimes it could be a good reaction. We could admire an aspect or a trait, personality trait in another person and just fawn all over them. But actually, that reflection, that's still a reflection of something in us. So we don't have to fawn all over anyone, but we can appreciate it. We can appreciate it in ourselves, because the fact that we're seeing it in another person and it speaks to us is evidence that it is in us. And the same thing for the things that we see in others that we don't like, or we see in a situation, circumstance, or condition that we resist, that we don't like. We have a problem with that. Well, the problem actually is back home with ourselves. That whatever it is that we don't like, that we're rejecting, is an aspect of ourself. And as we reconcile that, that's how we love ourselves. That's how we unconditionally accept ourselves. And we also, by allowing ourselves to be supported, that's another way that we support ourselves and love ourselves. So the truth is that mental health exists on a continuum. In other words, every person has mental health just as every person has physical health. Depression, anxiety, PTSD, OCD, ADHD, bipolar disorder, and many other conditions affect millions of successful, intelligent, loving people. It's a part of our existence, and it's a valuable part of our existence, because all of those conditions that I just named have a purpose for being in our life. And it's not contrary to what we might think and believe. It's not to hurt us or harm us. It's to grow us in a specific way. Each of these conditions has a specific way of growing us.
Right.
But we don't grow until we first accept it.
Accept it and acknowledge it.
Acknowledge it. And then as we do that, we can look for what did this teach me? What did I learn from this? What is it teaching me? How is it growing me? And then we can have appreciation for it once we get the answer to that question. Yeah, I have my own struggles. I struggle with ADHD.
What is sometimes being a little disorganized? Is that
it depends,
ADHD?
because sometimes being a little disorganized could just be a lack of skill to organize a specific area. For example, my finances. I was never taught how to manage my finances. And I finally, since I have my friend Sarah, you know who Sarah is, ChatGPT, I'll be honest with you, ChatGPT. I've used it. First I started with QuickBooks to try to help me, but that didn't work because then I had to go in and I had to appropriate or categorize all of the expenses, and I didn't know how to do that.
Yeah.
So I employed ChatGPT, and it is really helping me. But I realized that I had another issue with it, because once it did all the organizing and we knew what was going to go where, I still had some feelings about that. So, it's all a growing process.
Yes.
And I inherited, because none of my parents, none of them, not the parent or the step parent, except for my mom, my dad's wife, she was a CPA, so she was pretty good with money. But my dad, my mom, my stepdad, my ex-husband, all these people, terrible with money.
And again,
and me.
I think it's maybe it's a learned behavior, or maybe it's our environment, and it's in which we grew up in. And I think sometimes that sticks with us.
Well, I believe that it was definitely a part of my purpose for being here. It's an area where I needed to grow, and I am growing. So, but what I was saying is sometimes it's just a lack of the skill. And then if we get the skill and we're still having a problem with it, then it's deeper than that. But let's just start with, maybe it's the skill that I need. Because a lot of the things that I struggle with, once I get a skill, once I get a system for dealing with it, for handling it, for being organized, then I'm good.
Yeah.
I'm on time more often than not, and I couldn't always say that.
Yeah.
I'm really conscientious. I have put things in place to be able to make sure that I honor that time. I'm still working at it. It's a work in progress.
Everything is a work in progress.
And that's the thing.
And how we deal with life is always still a work in progress.
As long as we're breathing, we're a work in progress.
Yeah.
That's for sure. And so, successful, intelligent, loving, just because we struggle in an area doesn't mean we're not successful, doesn't mean we're not intelligent, doesn't mean we're not loving. We can be all of those. In fact, I believe we are all of those. And yet we struggle with something. As long as we're here, we're probably going to be struggling with something. And most people do not struggle. They don't wear struggle on their forehead. You have no idea what people are struggling with. You have no idea that they are struggling. That's why we need to be kind to everyone. Everyone. And including ourselves.
Especially
ourselves. When we can be kind to ourselves, we can be kind to others. And so, why do labels frighten us?
You don't want to be pigeonholed into something. Oh no, that's not me. You don't want to. You You don't want that identity.
You don't want that identity. But you know what? The truth is, we only have the identities we give ourselves.
Yes.
Who cares what somebody else thinks about us? Do you know that what other people think about you is not even your business?
Yeah.
Not your business.
Not your business.
Because what they think of you says more about them than it does you.
Because they usually see something
reflected
in
from
themselves.
But they're projecting it on you, and they may not be aware. They may not have the intelligence to know that that's what they're doing. You know, they don't have awareness of that. So, but you can, as of right now, the cat's out the bag. That's not your business.
Yes,
what they think and say about you is a reflection of what's in their heart, because that's where it's coming from. So you don't need to own that. Okay, let it go. So a diagnosis describes an experience. It doesn't define a person's identity. So let's say, for example, I was diagnosed with ADHD. That's not who I am. Sometimes I find myself wanting to tell people that, you know, I struggle with ADHD because I might seem to them as being uncaring, and that's the farthest thing. My pastor used to say, and I adopted this from him, an older pastor, charge it to my head, not to my heart.
My heart, yes.
And it's because that's, you know, it's just a fault of the my operating system, but it is not a reflection of how I feel about you, you know, or the situation, circumstance, or condition. And so it's not our identity, though. No. This is what, you know, we really have to appreciate and understand. And if you're ingrained in that, you know, I'm OCD. No, you're not OCD. You have the condition or experience. You're experiencing OCD, but it's not who you are.
Yeah.
And I hope that if you're listening to this, that you will adopt that thinking and undo that thinking with yourself, with your self-talk and self-analysis. So, myth number 4.
Healing means you'll never struggle again.
Myth, 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 myth. Truth. Healing is not the absence of challenges. Healing is developing a healthier way to respond to the challenges that arise. Healing is understanding that these challenges are coming here to teach you something. You don't need to be afraid of them. You don't need to avoid them. You don't need to stuff them or ignore them or deny them.
It's just a part of everyday life.
Just ask, what you here to teach me?
Yes.
What you here to teach me? Like that, you know?
Yeah.
To get that answer. So, what does healing actually look like? Healing looks like it looks like responding to the challenges that come into our lives with, initially you may react with anger, sadness, shock, whatever. It depends on what it is, right? Mm-hmm. Initially you may have that, but that doesn't last very long. That's what healing looks like. Yes, it comes. Yes, it affects you. But then your response is, first you got to breathe. You got to release whatever that emotion was, right? And then ask, so why did this happen? Mm-hmm. Not why did this happen to me, but why did this happen? What is it I'm supposed to learn from this? And you may get an answer like that. You may not receive the answer right away. It may take a while. Yes. But eventually, as long as you're looking, one of these days you're going to go, oh,
and that's the point too. As long as you're looking.
Yes, yes.
Because sometimes it just stays right here and we don't look outside of ourselves to see what's going on.
Yeah. Yeah, we definitely, it is about us, but then it's also about how we relate to everything else.
And what's the other saying? It's okay
To not be okay.
to not be okay.
Yeah, definitely. It's okay to not be okay. I do want to say this, though. If we're not okay for a extended period of time, that's going to go into depression. You don't need to go there.
Mm-hmm.
You don't need to go there. Because healing looks like, okay, if I'm not feeling okay and I'm not getting any answers, I'm not, it's not getting any better, let me get some help.
Mm-hmm.
Let me get some help, because that's where you are, and it's okay. That is okay to get help. When you find yourself, most things, whether they're physical or mental, 2 weeks is about the longest it will run.
Yes.
And after 2 weeks, if it's still going on, you need to get some help. Now, if it was a sore throat or a cough or whatever,
be right to the doctor.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So it's no different in that way.
Mm-hmm.
We can growth happen even during difficult seasons?
Oh,
Absolutely.
yes, absolutely.
1,000%. When growth usually happens, those are when the greatest leaps of growth happen, during difficult seasons. I mean, you usually come out not the person that went into it. You're not the same.
I always say that, now, Pollyanna, yesterday, a couple days ago, right before the storm, there was this huge rainbow. I mean, it went from one end of to the other.
I didn't see a rainbow.
It was beautiful. It was like we were in a bubble, in this beautiful bubble. And I always say, after the rain comes the sunshine. And it smells so fresh. And everything is so green.
Beautiful analogy.
And that's the way I try to look at difficult seasons when I'm coming through them.
Because they're like a storm.
They're like that storm. And then you are stronger for going through that storm.
Absolutely.
You may not feel like it, but you are stronger.
You are, 100%.
And you can look back and say, I made it through.
Yeah.
I made it through.
Yeah. Peace isn't the absence of storms. It's learning to navigate them with greater wisdom and self-compassion. Oh, please hear me again.
Yes.
It's learning to navigate them, the storms, with greater wisdom. Wisdom being, I know that this too shall pass, and I also know it's here for a reason. It didn't come just to annoy me or to drive me crazy or to harm me. It came to serve me. This is critical that you understand this, because it applies to everything. Everything. Did I say everything?
Everything.
I think I said everything. And that's what I mean, everything. So it's learning to navigate them with greater wisdom and self-compassion.
Again, self-compassion.
Compassion. Would you give compassion to someone you love and care about? Absolutely. Well, I think you need to love and care about yourself enough to give yourself compassion. And number 5.
People should just get over it.
That's the myth. People should not just get over it. That is not what, don't tell yourself that, and don't let somebody else tell you that. Oh, just get over it. No. Because the truth is, trauma, loss, anxiety, depression, and emotional wounds don't just disappear because someone told me to move on. They don't just disappear. We have to acknowledge it. We have to feel it.
Sometimes you don't want to feel that. Sometimes you just want to throw it somewhere else.
Most people don't want to feel it because it hurts.
Yes.
Guess what? Hurting is a part of life. Who would be on this earth if our mother didn't go through pain giving birth?
Yes.
Okay? Hurting is a part of life, but it's a necessary, because we grow Look, birth comes through that pain.
Yeah. Yes.
Now, I've heard some say that, there is a way to do childbirth without pain. Well, there is a way to do all these things without pain, but we don't know them yet. So in the meantime, we're having the pain and we're learning from the pain, because I believe that the people who know how to do it without pain, they're learning other lessons other ways. So that's just one that they're not having to deal with. But or maybe they learned the lessons, all of them, and they're here to teach us. And so either way, the pain is not an excuse to get away from it. We still have to go through it. And if you have a hard time with that, just remember, I wouldn't be here if somebody didn't go through some pain, and that somebody is my mother. And so,
Yes.
It's just know that it's a valuable. Anytime we have pain, it is like giving birth to something valuable.
Yes.
And it is.
Yes.
It is.
Yes.
It is.
And once it's birthed, that is the most beautiful creation
Yes.
that you ever laid your eyes on.
Yes. Yes.
And then the pain,
You forget about it. It
disappears.
disappears. It's gone. Gone.
and that's a great way of looking at it.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the truth.
Mm.
So,
36 minutes.
yeah, we're winding up here. So, I wanted to say healing takes time, safety, support, and often professional guidance. But that's not a bad thing. It doesn't mean we failed.
No.
It doesn't mean we've done anything wrong. It just means that we've got something here that deserves our undivided help, attention, and the support and guidance that is needed to get what the gift came to bring us.
And it doesn't have to be forever.
No.
This isn't anything that's a forever.
Well, actually, some people would argue that having a coach, a life coach, or something of whatever you would call it, you do want to have one of those forever. You might not have the same one, but that's something lifelong. Just like you'd never say, well, I never need a doctor in my life again. So a coach or a guide for the rest of your life, maybe. Maybe. But there's nothing wrong with it if you do. Mm-hmm. I have clients that I've had for years, and they are growing. They're continuing to grow, and they want to continue to grow, and they don't think there's ever going to be a time when they won't need me. So,
yes.
And, yeah.
So, and I keep saying I'm working on that.
You're doing it.
Yes.
So, why are we patient with broken bones to heal, but impatient with broken hearts? I definitely want to make this distinction. If we have a broken heart, that doesn't mean we're broken. It just means that our heart has been broken, and that heart can be healed. And you know what? When our heart truly heals, you don't even see the scars. You don't see the Band-Aids, because there's no Band-Aids, because it was actually healed. And when our heart heals, it is not scarred. It doesn't have to carry any scars, because true healing, when we get the understanding of what that broken heart came to teach us, not only is our heart healed, but it is better, it is wiser, it is stronger, and it is more loving than it was before. And it knows how to love. It's learning how to love. And so, heartbreaks are part of life, actually. Yeah. And if we go through life and our heart's never been broken, maybe we've never really loved. Because we have broken our own hearts. What do you think about that? Yeah, if we've never experienced a broken heart, we need to check if we've ever really loved anyone. All right, and what does genuine healing require? Well, one of the things that I'm always saying is We don't need judgment. Now, we can judge what we're going to do with our time, what we're going to do with our money, but we don't need to judge a person for anything that they've done, because we don't know. We didn't create the person, so we don't know what their purpose is. We don't know what lessons they're here to learn. And you know what? This applies to ourselves, because we're yet learning.
And you never know what they might be able to teach you.
Exactly. Yeah. So we can just take judgment of other people, including ourselves, out of our life. Just throw it out. It has no pace there. Like I said, we can judge what we're going to spend our money on, what we're going to spend our time on. And what we need is, when we do find ourselves wanting to judge someone, what we really need is understanding, connection, and hope. And this applies to whether it's somebody outside of ourselves or ourselves.
Wow. Wow.
So mental health isn't about whether you're strong or weak. Did you get that? Mental health is not about whether you're strong or weak. Everybody has strengths. Everybody has weaknesses.
Yeah.
It's about being human. We have mental health because we're human. And we have a mind. And it's growing and developing.
And every one of us will face seasons of emotional struggle.
Every one of us.
Every one of us.
No one is exempt.
No one is exempt.
No one's excluded.
No.
No one's above the law on that one. That's a universal law. And the goal isn't to avoid those seasons. It's to learn how to walk through them with greater self-awareness.
Self-compassion, supportive relationships, and when needed, professional care.
And, don't be afraid of that professional care. If you need it, just ask for a way. Just ask the universe to show you who to go to, and the universe knows how to make matches. Look at that. Look at that. It brought Will and Debbie together. Rich and I together. The universe knows how to do things perfectly, to where we were like, there's no way I could have done this myself.
Right.
So
right.
Make sure
Sometimes you just pinch yourself. I pinch myself. Oh.
Rich and I have been pinching ourselves for 15 years.
Because it's like the things that we went through, the relationships that we were in and out and all of that. And then it's like, well, wow.
They're preparing you. They were preparing you for each other.
Yes.
And this is it. This is how life goes. We're yet being prepared for our partner. And even when we get into those partner relationships, that relationship is for teaching us things. It's there to teach us. It's for us to grow.
Yeah.
All our relationships, every single one, are to help us grow. So if you're having a challenge in your relationship, that is the reason. Your job is to not be focused on the other person, but be focused on what is this here to teach me. And one thought for you, because I like to emphasize unconditional self-acceptance, I'd encourage making a distinction between accepting ourselves unconditionally and accepting every thought as true. Just because we think it or feel it doesn't make it true. Now, it makes it something that we will want to give some attention to, because we want to know, well, why am I thinking that? Where did that come from? Question it. Because, again, this is an opportunity to learn something about ourselves, about our lives, and to grow from that. Self-acceptance creates safety, which is needed for healing, because self-acceptance is directly proportionate to our self-trust. As we trust ourselves, we will grow into the deeper, loving relationship with ourselves, just like we would anyone. And as we do that with ourselves, though, now we are coming into a place where we can have a healthy relationship with someone else. If we don't do that work, we're going to have challenges in we're going to have a challenge finding the partner that wants to be with us. You know,
Or we're just going to have challenges accepting, and maybe we need to accept that you won't have a partner. And sometimes that is what we need to accept. And then
they will come.
they will come.
Yes. That is exactly. I 100% agree, because that's what happened. I was like, okay, God, it's just you and me, and I'm okay with that.
That is it.
I'm okay with that. For the rest of my
Yeah.
life. You know, my grandmother passed away. She'd never remarried. She'd been single for, I don't know, 30 years, 40 years, a long time, all my life. I'd never known her to be with a man my whole life.
Yeah.
And her husband remarried. My mom's dad. My mom, eventually, after the last husband, she's been single her whole life, and that's probably been about 30 years or so. Yeah. So I was just like, I guess I'm gonna be the same way. 2 of my sisters never been married, never. Actually, 3 of them never been married. And so anyway, my point is, I'm okay with that. Being single is not a death sentence. It's not a bad thing. It's actually an opportunity to grow even more with ourselves.
Yes.
But you know, if there is a person that's meant for you to be, when you are content being alone, here they come.
Here they come. Yes.
The key is contentment with yourself.
Yes.
Happy with yourself. Happy with who you are. Now, will you still be growing? Of course.
Of course.
But as long as we got breath in our body, we're growing. We're here to grow. That's what life is about.
That's exactly what life is about.
So the balance is both psychologically sound and beautifully aligned with the message.
With the message.
Loving yourself. Unconditionally accepting yourself. That is, I believe, the answer to mental illness. If I had to put it in a nutshell, I'd say unconditional self-acceptance is the key to mental health. Thank you.
Yeah. So, again, thank you for tuning into the Debbie and Kim show.
And remember, you are perfect for your purpose for being here now. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment. We love hearing from you.
So until next time, bye-bye.
Bye.